What's going on? Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. Take two on episode 67. I have Dark Dad 99, and it's take two. And as Jay said just a moment ago, while we were chatting, and about 10 minutes into it, things just went haywire. Maybe that's a sign for us to cut the small talk. What do you think, Jay?
Okay, first off, for those of you who've been around here long enough to know, it is usually like a clown show when we first try to do something, because we scrambling, things blow up, a wire fry.
Oh man, maybe it serves us right because I actually came into this, bro, and I had updated everything last week. I actually recorded some other podcast episodes on a separate podcast that I have. If you guys don't get an opportunity to listen to this, or you do, you can come over to Discord and check out our Discord. It's Drama Free Gaming. Jump in. We have a good community there. We're just older dudes, dads, talking about gaming, trying to do life together, just trying to keep one another above water, because things can get crazy and hectic, and that's my spiel on that.
But believe it or not, it's a bunch of old guys that be tripping on Discord about life. And all you got to do is peek in, and sometimes you will see the most hilarious conversations go down, or sometimes you'll see some crickets. It just be that way. We all get busy sometimes.
Yeah. That's the reality of things. We all get busy, and some of us are busier than others. Again, not by choice or design or anything of that sort. It's just that, man, things get crazy, and we got to do what we got to do, right? So Jay, what's up with you, man? What's been going on with you, man? You still there, Jay?
Man, you cut out. I didn't even hear a word. I didn't hear a word you said.
What you mean? You ain't hear a word I say. Dang.
I didn't. It was literally like you were talking, and then it just went.
It just died on us, man. It just died again on us. How about now? You hear me okay?
I can hear you now. See, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not new.
It's okay.
Let me repeat. This is not new.
It's okay. We're gonna try to tough it out. I've kind of put in the recommended bit rate and all that. Hey, if it drops, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna go to sleep, and then that's it.
Man, hey, this brother said I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. It's a long day.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep, not even being sleepy. I'm ready to go, man. But no, I was just saying, Jay, that things get hectic, right? Life gets hectic. We were talking about that before we cut out the first time, and we've been playing some games. You asked me what I've been playing. I've been giving some time to Biomutant. I know that's an old game, but I've been playing it on my PlayStation, and it's good to go, man. It is good to go. So what have you been up to? And hopefully you can hear me. What's going on?
They're gonna drop sarcasm.
No, come on, Jay. What you been playing, man? I mean, I know you told me you've been playing Outrun.
Outrun, Grande Extreme. I need to start Dead Space, but I haven't. I need to start Resident Evil 4, but I haven't. A lot of games I need to start,
bro. You just don't got time.
And I fit it. I'm at the point now when I can get gaming in. I feel good about it. And whether it's retro, whether it's modern, the older I get, when I get the time to sit down and actually enjoy a game, it's actually more enjoyable now than, not say when I was a young man, but when you get to sit down and just go, I ain't got to worry about it out there. I can just be right here in my game for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'm good. But what about you, though? What you play?
Yeah, I mean, I said I've been playing Biomutant on my PlayStation 5, which I finally got for Christmas. My wife surprised me. Slash almost killed me because I actually purchased one, but she had found one earlier in the year. And you know what's crazy, Jay? That I actually was hearing one of our older podcasts, and it was you, Henyo, and I. Henyo was playing MLB, last year's MLB, and I said on that podcast that I would play. I forget what game. Oh, he was talking about dang, what's that game that Kojima made that was weird and well, all the games he makes are
Death
weird.
Stranding.
Death Stranding, yes. He was saying on the podcast, "Oh, you got to play Death Stranding," and I said, "Yeah, I'll play it on my PS5 when I get it in 2023." So I almost prophesied that and got it in 2023, but wound up getting again the PlayStation in December for Christmas. So
I guess you need to get Death Stranding, don't you?
man, I ain't gonna play no Death Stranding, bro. Got no time for that.
Henyo,
Ain't nobody got
just
time for
remember,
that.
Ain't
bro.
nobody got time for that.
Now, Henyo, if you hear this podcast, remember, not only did he drop your name and say what he was going to do, he just came right back out and said he not going to do it.
Yo, Henyo is like neck deep right now. Unless he's sleeping, he's neck deep in this year's MLB. So, and it was funny because I just picked an episode at random. I think it was like episode 50 something. And he jumps into the podcast. And when he jumps in, he was like, "Man, can I vent?" And then we were like, "Yeah, go ahead, man. You came in right on time." And he was just sharing a story about how he played a mode in MLB where it only was supposed to last like 3 innings. And it was funny. He said because the computer took him to the 9th inning, he had actually scored a run. So he brought in Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer in all of history. And the computer wound up like smacking a 2-run home run, like a nobody came up, smacked a 2-run home run. And he was just like beside himself, bro. It was the funniest thing. But yeah, we if y'all want to check that out, man, y'all just got to listen to the past episodes. And it was funny. Sometimes we have some conversations on here that it's fun to go back and listen to and go, dang, the time has passed us by, but we're still here, bro. We're still here. But hey, I've been playing Biomutant. I just got back to playing Resident Evil 2, the remastered.
How's that
Dude,
going?
Anyone who knows me, you know me, I don't play horror games. The genre is not my genre. It would probably take you 6 days. It would take me 6 months to play the same game. Just because I'm scared, bro. It just unnerves me. But got back into it, and really it was because I've been seeing these reviews on Resident Evil 4, which I've never played. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you obviously played it. That's the reaction that I'm getting like all over the interweb. Like, oh, this was the greatest game back on the GameCube or something, and now it's been from everybody.
Yeah, when the game first released. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh no, tell me you didn't cut out again.
No, I hear you, bro. I'm here.
There you go. There
I'm
you
here.
Go. Okay,
I'm here.
you
Talk
just
to me.
you cut out on me, and I
YouTube
was
is
like, no.
YouTube is messing with us again, bro. I saw the light go red, and then you started talking and went back green. So
yeah, I was like, what? No, but anyway, I forgot my whole entire thought.
no, you were saying
too.
that when it came out,
Okay,
Resident Evil 4, yeah,
when Resident Evil first came out, it did come out on GameCube, as you said,
yeah,
and it got back then. The game was getting 10s and 9s, and then they remade it for the PlayStation 2. And that's when I first really put my hands on it, and then I fell in love with it.
Okay.
And then they've remastered that game and remade it so many times, this is like the definitive remaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was seeing an in-depth kind of like analysis from what are those do the PC gaming and the platform games, Digital Foundries, and dude, they really like broke it down and were like super impressed. So, I mean, the game still has its flaws, but it's like that with every game. But a 10 across the board. So I'm still here, Jay. If you're still here, you still with me?
I'm here. I'm with you. I'm
Okay,
with you.
okay, okay, okay. I'm looking at all the colorful lights that YouTube keeps giving me, and I'm just like, I'm
Is
like,
YouTube giving you
suckers,
some
let
Christmas
us
lights
hear
right
this,
now?
let us do our thing.
YouTube giving you some Christmas lights, man.
Dude, man, this is like a Bethesda game when it like launches and you find all the
Mm, Now, how you gonna throw Bethesda under the bus
dude,
like
because
that?
Bethesda does it to itself, bro. It's part of the what does the community say? The Fallout, the Fallout games. It's part of the charm of the game to find all of those weird things in it, and I mean, I don't care, bro. Which is a perfect segue for what we want to talk about right now. And before YouTube decides to kick us out completely, now that we're 12 minutes into it, hey, this is drama-free gaming. We're gonna talk about gaming as long as we can and have the ability to. Thank you for hearing us, even if it's after the fact. Come follow us, come hit that like button, and we promise that we'll try to make the experience better the next time if again YouTube will cooperate with us. But let's talk about Wild Hearts, man. This
Oh
game,
wow.
this game, I think has gotten praises and then it's gotten beat up, and it's been some time that it's out already. I think it's been out for a month now. They've gone ahead and patched it up. They're still working on it. I mean, it's just like every other game that's coming out now, and over the last generation. Games are getting patched, things are getting added. No game is coming out in its entirety, like completely whole. Not even Resident 4 that we were just talking about right now. But let me just say that Wild Hearts was a pleasant surprise, and my expectations were low. What about you, Jay? What did you anticipate coming into this game? And when you actually put your hands on it, what was your initial reaction?
Monster Hunters meets Samurai.
Monster
That was
Hunter meets Samurai. It's okay.
I was like, yo, dude got a katana and they got the whole, samurai Japanese vibe swinging. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, this kind of dope.
Yeah, the setting is
So
Japanese,
yeah,
right?
so that's why I was
Yeah.
like, yo, it was just fresh. It ain't just Monster Hunter. It's Monster Hunter plus something different and new, but still reminds you of Monster Hunter. It's all the greatest games have copied, so I'm not giving them no shade. It was what they pulled off, spectacular.
So what did you like that they copied off of Monster Hunter and that genre, which has been out for what, 20 years already, 20 plus years?
Yeah, we simply put, let's go get that monster.
Let's
We
go
got
get the
one. We
monster,
got
right?
one goal. We
Yeah,
got one goal to kill you. Let's go
yeah,
make it happen. That's
yeah.
it.
The thrill of the hunt, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
look, brother, we've hunted on Monster Hunter, we've hunted on Wild Hearts, and we always get the same thing every time. We got to go kill them.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
So
so when you first saw, and I don't know how much you saw before the game released, what was your initial like thought when you first saw clips of the game? I mean, and again, I don't know how early you saw the game when you became aware of it. Like, what was that like for you?
if I can recall, it was just like Monster Hunter, like, hey, it's Monster Hunter, but with
Okay.
samurai.
I mean, I
And
know
you
you're
can use
saying
these
that.
cool
Did anything
gadgets.
did anything throw you off? Like, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the what we know now as the karakuri, right? The
Yeah,
building aspect of it. Did
that's a good system.
yeah, well now you're saying, but did you have any hesitancy going into it, like, when you first saw it before you got your hands on it, where you like, dang, this is Fortnite.
No, my guess, since I'm kind of an old man, my perspective on gaming is I'll pick up the sticks and I'll play it. If it can keep my attention, it's a good game.
Okay. Okay.
I think we're all kind of like that.
Okay.
In a way, if you're a little older, how many times have you picked up a game and been like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't play this sooner," and
Well,
then all your time gets absorbed.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not a thing that happens often. Just because we've gamed a lot. I mean, I've gamed a lot. I've played a lot of games. But like with this game with Wild Hearts, when I first started seeing the advertisements, everyone has said it. We're gonna say it here. I'm gonna say it. I saw EA and I said, ugh. I
Oh
said, oh,
no,
forget it. Like
we had,
this game is probably
yeah.
dead in the water. But thankfully, no. EA was kind of like publishing it, and it's actually who is it that actually puts it out? Koei
Oh, that's
Tecmo, is
Tecmo.
it? Right?
They're the Ninja Gaiden team.
They're the Ninja Gaiden team. They're the Dynasty Warrior people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't like Dynasty Warriors, and forgive me anyone who gets offended, but I just didn't find no sense to those games. My son, I think one of my sons loves the game, but not me. But anyways, when I saw that it wasn't EA making the game themselves and it was another company, and then I started to understand like their pedigree, I said, okay, it's interesting. We're hunting monsters, but then I saw the what I call Fortnite, because I don't like Fortnite. I don't like it. I never liked it. I tried it, never. Maybe because I'm old. But the building thing turned me off. I said, man, this game looks cool. It looks like it can be something, but building blocks to climb them, and jump off of them and fight with monsters. Like, I don't know. As much as I remember of it being advertised, it just wasn't kind of like, for me, it wasn't kind of like advertised enough. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like, yeah. Like I would have liked to have seen like a developer like preview, like have someone from the development team play the game for 5 minutes and maybe do like an overlay where they're like, hey, welcome to Wild Hearts, we're gonna be out in the next couple of months, but let us introduce you to the karakuri system. And maybe if they would have explained that ahead of time, people like me would have not held on to the hesitancy of pulling the trigger on buying the game until the game actually came out, and then we saw the system for what it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but with the way games drop nowadays, most games are going to make you gun shy regardless of the fact.
True, true. But this game in particular made me, I wasn't about to drop money on this game because of that one element, the building blocks. That I saw it as building blocks, and I said, "What part does this game? What does this have to do in this game? Like, I don't want to build blocks in Fortnite. That's why I don't build. That's why I don't play Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Well, I've never played Fortnite, so I
don't. You ain't missing anything.
don't say it like that, man.
No, I mean, okay. In all fairness to Fortnite, okay, people play Fortnite, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go into it, but if I'm gonna play a battle royale, it's gonna be something like PUBG, Apex, something else. But what turns me off about Fortnite is building. And I know that they have modes now where you don't have to build and it's just like straight up battle royale, but that's what put that game on the map, that whole element. And I'm not knocking it. It put it on the map. It's successful. It's great, wonderful. More power to you. But when I saw something that I related to Fortnite, in this game, Wild Hearts, that threw me for a loop. I'm just being honest. So, but you said you didn't have any of those hesitancies. So you just saw it and you said, I'm getting it, and jumped in.
Man, look, I'm a fan of Monster Hunter. And one of the big reasons why I really kind of fell for the game is because of the monsters, the way they acted, the way they looked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an old man. I got to be picky with my gaming now, I can't sit down and do the young man thing, buy like 90 games and I got a year I can get it done. Man, gaming now is like it's like eating your favorite steak.
So what made you drop cash on this game?
I didn't. You bought it for me, remember?
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
So what makes you drop money on a game nowadays? Because go ahead.
Well, wouldn't that question be more for you than for me? Because what made you want to get the game?
Well, okay, so I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to throw it back at you because you mentioned earlier on that you still have Dead Space on hold.
Yeah.
I mean, you purchased it, right?
Yeah.
The Dead Space remake. So you purchased that game. You still have Resident Evil 4. You purchased it, right?
Yeah.
And it's there. So, but we're talking, those are two tested games. Like, they are not new, they're remakes. So, and they've done such a great job that the games are fresh and have been rethought but still hold to the original, right? But to get a new game nowadays is tough for me as a consumer of Game Pass. So what made me pull the trigger on this game was once I understood the Karakuri, once I saw the reviews and I saw people playing it, I was able to understand and saw how it played into the game. But everything else that the game offered was like what you mentioned a moment ago. The hunt, because the game, when you look at it, let's be honest, when you look at this game, it's a nice looking game, but it's not sharp. It's not sharp.
Oh no. It seems like a cross between new and old tech. Like it isn't a game.
It needs polish.
Wow. Yeah, but
it needs
like you said earlier, though, most games take a minute. Like they come in, they're kind of unfinished, and they try to build the game up to make the game last longer. I get it, So I'll give the game some time to cook its way up to the top, if that makes sense.
How do you think? How long do you think they're gonna run Wild Hearts? I mean, it's an introduction into the genre. It's definitely its own game, even though, again, it is a Monster Hunter. I wouldn't say clone. It's in the same genre, because it has these elements, the Karakuri, which is the building system. The creatures are unique. If you're looking at the screen, the rat thing that we fought, there's also like a hog thing, there's a chicken thing, there's just, the monsters so far are like their own unique creatures, to comparing it to Monster Hunter. But how long do you think this game is going to run before we get a sequel?
Depends on how well they can keep their customer base alive.
Okay.
Like Monster Hunter, it'll get very boring fighting the same thing over and
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. And I hope that they innovate the game enough to keep people coming back.
Right.
But I guess to answer the question, if the game can't last longer than 2 years, it's a wrap. That's
Okay.
been that's been about a good judging call for most games nowadays.
Okay. Okay.
Because
So.
year one, we're usually for year one will forgive you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you get you get some leeway. But the more it drags out, and companies are playing the game of we'll get there and nothing happens,
Mm.
that's it.
Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you. That's why I'm constantly upset at Ubisoft and their promises of releasing content for Division 2, and that's why I've never played it again. So
Let's let's not go there and broken promises of Ubisoft.
oh my gosh, man. But okay. I mean, how long has because I don't recall right now to be honest, but how long has Rise? Well, Rise came out first on the Switch, is exclusive to Nintendo, and then 2 years later, after they released, Sunbreak and did what they did with the game on the Nintendo platform, lo and behold, here it is on PlayStation, on Xbox, on PC, on your toaster. I mean, it's everywhere. And of course the content is there. And do you think how long has Rise been out on its own merit before it came out on these other systems? 2 years?
2 years, I believe so. Yes.
2 years, right? And World was out like 2 years before Rise came around.
Yeah, World's been out for about 4 or 5 years now, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying from the time that World came out and then they released Iceborne, it was about two
A year,
years and then
year and a
Rise
half, 2 years.
came. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. They announced Iceborne,
Mm-hmm.
and Iceborne went on for a while. When they dropped Fatalis,
Mm-hmm.
which was the last monster in World, is when they announced Rise. When
Right,
they
right, right, right.
right when they were done with World, they released Rise.
Right, right. So that's a good measuring stick, right? As far as like what you said, and that's where you're getting the 2 years from, that you think that, hey, if Wild Hearts can just hold on for 2 years and keep us engaged and interested, which they've, at the time of this recording, they've released monsters and updates, and I believe new weapons and stuff like that, and the game is still early on, so I see
And
room for growth.
and all they got to do with this game is innovate. That's all they got to do. And I got a feeling if they innovate and work hard and always bring something new and do something different, because I got a feeling Monster Hunter World 2 or whatever they decide they're going to call it is going to be right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And once that happens, the real competition begins, because they both got to elevate and innovate
Right,
and keep their
right.
customer base.
So I'm happy that you said that, because I'm glad that this game has found success to an extent, because it's going to hopefully put a fire under Capcom's behind, and cause them to innovate, which they have, to be fair. I mean, you got wire bugs in Rise, you had Clutch Claw in Iceborne. So they've brought new elements of gameplay, the switch skills on Rise as well. Man, I can't even fathom how this game, Wild Hearts, going back to Wild Hearts, what can it innovate on? What do you think it can do better in its second iteration when the time comes? What would you change, and what would you leave the same?
Uh, do the simple stuff first. Add more weapons, add more
Okay.
monsters. Make it so that the one thing I don't like, and I hope they really change, is when you jump on the monster, you can do other things besides crawl around and then do
Right.
your little hunter arm move. Like,
Uh-huh.
I think you should be able to actually attack the monster if you jump
Okay.
on it for
Okay.
a certain
Okay.
period of time.
Okay.
Kind of like they did with Monster Hunter. Like you can latch on and then you attack and you can kind of weaken it or do some kind of
Right.
move, or you know, there's plenty of room to grow in that game. And then you got the Karakuri, and maybe there's a special Karakuri. You jump on the monster and you can activate, and I mean, there's so much you can do.
Mm. Do you think they'll ever have like turf wars? You think they'll kind of like copy that from
Why?
from
Why not? All gaming is copy and paste.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Remember. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Remember what?
I remember back in the day when God of War dropped
Mm-hmm.
and QTEs were like not even a thing, and then when God of War did it, everybody was like, "Ooh,
Mm.
ooh, God of War is the hotness." And then what did everybody else do?
Yeah.
They started copying QuickTime events.
Uh-huh. And I'm
Why?
glad you
Because
spelled it out because people were like QTEs, what is that? Quick time events where you had to hit a certain button or perform a certain prompt that was flashed on the screen, and you had to do it in a certain amount of time. So, yeah,
if
yeah,
you've been if you've played gaming for a better part of 10 years,
yeah.
QTE
But
should be a very normal.
I knew what you was talking about after a moment when you said God of War came out, and I said, oh, okay, he's talking about the quick time events. Okay, I get it. But it took me a minute until you said God of War. In
Oh,
all
did I drag
fairness.
it out too much? Did I drag it out
No,
too
no,
much?
no, no, no. I'm just saying, like, I work in a field where a lot of acronyms are used, and I tell my people,
Oh,
listen, you and I talk the language, but the people we serve don't. So I have to treat everyone as if they don't know the language. So, like it's like almost saying English please. Even though you could be bilingual, whatever, it's like English please. Um
he's like,
oh no.
so I mean, it's like you telling people, look, if you want to understand, I'll speak dummy for you. How about that?
Hey, talk to me like a preschooler, bro. Like I don't know. For the sake of clarity, yeah. But you know what? Going back to Wild Hearts, I agree with you everything you said. Being they can copy a lot of the things and innovate. Become creative. The Karakuri is great. Now I'm a believer. I would love to see what they're going to implement with brand new Karakuri. One thing I would like for them to do is the armor sets. The armor sets seem pretty meh, like as far as customization and whatnot. Like I would love to see them flesh that out some more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like how in Monster Hunter you have like you can put decorations in your armor. You have the slots and whatnot. So here I'm still trying to figure out like the armor sets. Like you have to first build like a plain set, and then you can take either the path of the kimono or the path of the human. I don't even. I'm still figuring that out. So
From what I understand, it's you either be more kimono, which is kind of like more
yeah, yeah,
evil, or
yeah,
human, which is more, and
yeah,
it's each side gives you strengths and advantages, that kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like you're evil or good. It's more like you're more in tune with nature if you're more of like the human armor sets, and then the other one offers you more like elemental stuff or something. I don't know. It's there's a difference there. I'm still trying to figure it out a bit. but it's cool. Let's jump over to Monster Hunter Rise because I don't want to take too long and stretch out the episode, because we gonna sleep.
Oh man,
But
who you telling?
Monster Hunter Rise, have you had any inkling of getting back into Monster Hunter Rise, Jay?
Yeah,
Okay,
Monster Hunter.
why?
Monster Hunter. Why? It's Monster Hunter.
Because it's Monster
Monster
Hunter.
Hunter is Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is a great game.
Okay, no,
There's
I'm not gonna
nothing.
argue with you.
There's nothing. I can say. I can honestly say nothing bad about Monster Hunter.
Okay.
Like I still go back and play Monster Hunter World on a whim.
Mm.
I still want to play Rise. So I got nothing bad to say about it. It became a staple. You
Mm-hmm.
remember we were watching E3, and the first thing out of my mouth is, "Bro, we got to get Monster Hunter," and you were
Mm.
like, "Nah,
Yeah, you
no."
always call me out on that. I mean, but again,
So,
I was completely oblivious to the genre. I had no clue
yeah,
what Monster Hunter was. Period.
and
Like I
now
never heard of it.
the genre you can't take your teeth out of the
Now
genre now.
Monster Hunter is my favorite game. Period.
Hmm.
Hands down. Like, and some people have told me that know that I play the Division 1 especially. I mean, I'll always go back to the Division. If they announce Division 3 tomorrow, I will be salivating because I want to see, okay, what's new, and I'll play it. And I'll play it even if I play it for the story and hang around a little bit, and then I'm ticked off because I won't be able to go into the 8-man raid and other content.
Oh,
But that's another story, right? We've talked about that before. But yeah,
yeah,
Monster Hunter is the game. And I started playing with the bow. You know that, right? I started playing with the bow and
yeah.
arrow.
You told me about that.
Yeah. So I'm a main glaive player, insect glaive, but started playing with the bow. I really enjoy it. And I think I switched over to the bow or started playing with the bow on Rise because I kind of like it in Wild Hearts as well. Even though I've moved on from the bow in Wild Hearts. In the gameplay that you're watching, I'm playing with the bladed Wagasa, which is the umbrella. But I've moved on from that as well. I'm playing like with the bow staff now. That changes like into 5 different weapons. But anyway, there's a lot of room for growth. If you guys are listening to this and you want to leave any comments, go right ahead. Tell us what you like and what you don't like about Wild Hearts and what you anticipate or hope that they do moving forward with this game. I would love to see in the comment section, what would you change or what would you improve on? What do you absolutely hate about the game? Because I'm sure that there's stuff in here that certain people are like, yo, this game like is great. I wish they didn't have this thing. I really can't point to anything that I don't, that I despise in the game. Other than it needs polish. But the game loop is so much fun. And I think, Jay, you'll agree with me that I really don't care how it looks like.
Not right now, no.
Nah, neither do I. Neither do I. But,
Not.
I'm not at end game of it, so I'm far from it. So,
I,
maybe.
I think another reason what I like about Wild Hearts right now, it's a game it's a game I can savor. Like I can pop it in
Mm-hmm.
and know that I can play with you. I can savor it. I can,
Mm-hmm.
when we go hunt, it's like, all right, bro, we doing this right.
Right.
We going to
Right.
kill. We
Right.
going to kill a couple months. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
And we get hyped
it's
about it.
it's like awakened the Monster Hunter Rise, not Monster Hunter Rise, but the Monster Hunter gaming experience, because that's what it's about. I mean, I think Wild Hearts, in all fairness, it's lackluster because it just dropped, but the game loop is there, and that's what keeps me coming back to it. And hopefully it'll keep me coming back for hours and hours and hours on end. So,
Well,
but I'm
so long as
enjoying
we
it.
have,
Yeah.
long as we have the time, brother, because we old.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Well, and for people who are hearing out here, I mean, I'm not at end game or anything of that sort. Neither is Jay, because we've decided that we would savor the game and play when we're both available to play together.
yeah,
Because you can play the game by itself, but anyone who's played any Monster Hunter game will tell you it's so much more fun with somebody else.
yeah. When you're in the heat of the hunt and the action is thick and you trying to survive and the big attack is coming and the other person calls it and you can't get out, and yeah, we've experienced that a couple times.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I would copy, I would like Monster Hunter to copy Wild Hearts on. It's the opportunity that Wild Heart gives you if you're playing with somebody else, that your character goes down but they don't cart like immediately after, a death blow is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gives you a period of time for your partner or the people you're playing with to come and try to revive you. I like that.
So you're saying it kind of gives you a fighting chance if you can get there.
Yes, I like that. Now, I can see how let's say this is how I would do it, right? I would do it where if you fall one time, then you have an opportunity for somebody to revive you. And then either you make sure you don't fall again, because the next time you fall, you cart, or there should be like a cool down period. Like, okay, you just got revived, but you can't fall for like the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
You say, you're like, dang, that's a lot. It should be like 2 minutes. No, but
yeah,
but
man,
I mean,
I gotta survive 10 minutes for a fight. Come on now.
yeah, I mean, most fights are well, like in Rise. This is one of the things that Rise kind of like threw me for a loop. I was used to, in my introduction to Monster Hunter World, I was used to fights lasting in the beginning. They would last almost the entire time. Sometimes it was cutting it close until we started gearing up. And even when we started gearing up, it wasn't until later on in the game that we were taking monsters out. Some of the weak, I'm not talking about the great Jagras or anything like that we took out like in less than 15 minutes or 10 minutes. But the decent size, monsters and whatever, we would take them out in about 15, 20 minutes. But in Rise, it almost seemed like you could take out a lot of the monsters early on in less than that time. And again, and the ranking system in it's kind of like, from what I understand, the old school way. So it's not really clear like what level you on or whatnot. I mean, at least to me, I'm still learning and I'm still playing, but I'm just monster rank 4 now, and I've been playing Rise for a minute.
Yeah, you've been grinding pretty hard, haven't you?
Yeah. And so I told you the other night, like, I kind of figured that if you do the rampage in Rise, you get a lot of XP, but I can't stand rampage. That's one thing I don't want for Monster Hunter to come back with. I hate rampage. I find no sense in that mode, but that's another conversation. But for whatever, it feels like much more of an XP grind, and Wild Hearts is the same. For you to get like some of this like upgrades for weapons, you gotta go and kill a lot of the same kimonos over and over and over again. So,
well, that's just a part of the grind. I mean, you know that as well as I do.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying that for whoever's out there thinking, "Oh, I mean, the game depending on how hardcore you are, it can probably be over 60, 70, 80 hours before you get to end game and have all, maxed out gear and all that other stuff. But for the average Joe like you and I, we might not ever see that.
Yeah, well, we would see it. We usually get those like obligatory days where we like, I'm off. I'm off. What you doing?
Yeah, it's
Let's
gonna
go
take
hunt.
more than one obligatory day. I think I think and as we're gonna close up now, I think that by the time you and I start getting into some heavier content in Wild Hearts, I think that an announcement for Monster Hunter World 2 is gonna be made.
Don't tell me
And
that, man.
and do you think that Monster Hunter World 2 is gonna come out on every platform?
Yes.
On everything. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
The only
That only
the
makes
only
sense.
the only reason I say that, Monster Hunter World was Capcom's biggest selling Monster Hunter on the new systems with old tech.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine what they can do with new tech.
Wasn't it the most sold game franchise, like beating out Street Fighter?
Of
Monster
all
Hunter.
time for Capcom.
All time.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
World brought in an audience that Capcom didn't even think was there.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And that's why I love it, man. Like, yo, you
So let me
gotta
ask this. Let me throw this out of left field, and then I promise we'll shut it down because we're coming up on the hour now. Jay, I
okay.
appreciate you being here.
Of
But I
course.
don't want to make the episode super long. I mean, we're just kind of coming
Yeah.
back into it. I'm gonna ask you this question though. Do you think that Nintendo is going to announce their next console this year sometime?
End of the year.
You think towards the end of the year?
Yes.
When? When towards the end of the year? When? Holiday
By the
season?
holiday season.
You think holiday season?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because Nintendo's very good at capitalization off the holiday season. They've proved it every time.
You think they'll
Nintendo seems
announce it and have it ready? Or you think they'll announce it and release it like in early 2024?
I'm gonna say mid 2024
Okay.
because they're still, really releasing Switch games at a really strong pace right now.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see that, like just like any other system, when you really see that slow down,
Mm-hmm.
it's when Nintendo's getting ready to gear up. And with the new systems we got right now, Nintendo wants to stay in the loop. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you want to be?
Yeah. Yeah. I, okay. I mean, I think I'm going to leave it as a cliffhanger there because I would love to talk some more the next time we get together about what do we think that Nintendo's cooking up, especially that Xbox is getting ready to close out this deal with Activision Blizzard. It's gonna happen, regardless of what, PlayStation is trying to do. And Xbox has already signed a 10-year contract with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty over to Nintendo. But it leaves me not I'm not only thinking about that, but it leaves me to wonder for the next 10 years, is Nintendo positioning themselves in partnership with Xbox to bring their next console out and really focus on getting some sort of infrastructure in there so that they can stream their games and play off the cloud. They're doing it now with certain titles,
Yeah,
running it on current hardware, and I can just see them coming out with some souped up Switch 2 and really taking advantage of a partnership with Xbox and cloud gaming.
well, Nintendo, one thing we know about Nintendo is Nintendo's stubborn, but Nintendo like money.
Yeah, well,
And
I think PlayStation has proven that they are set in their ways. So if I think anybody's stubborn, I think is PlayStation. Not, I mean, Nintendo just has a loyal fan base that has been around much longer than any Xbox, PlayStation fan base. That's for sure.
That's 100% guaranteed.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even think it's stubbornness on Nintendo's part. I think that Nintendo is, I mean, they're just a staple. Like we've said it here before. They put out cardboard boxes and people are running out in flocks to buy them. So,
wow.
You know, but PlayStation is going to have to get with it or they're going to get left behind. That's just a fact, you know, or they're going to become so niche that, you know, they might have their couple of, you know, 100 million gamers, but they're going to get left behind. And I think Nintendo's smart enough that they're like, hey, you know what? I mean, because Nintendo right now, you can play certain games that should not be running on a Switch, and the way they get it running is that they say, okay, we've scaled it all the way down, and then you don't even download the entire game onto your system. It's like it's being streamed.
Yeah, well, you know, Nintendo's always been behind the 8 ball when it came to hardware anyway. But that don't surprise me at all.
We'll see, man. Maybe
well,
I don't know. Put it this way. I'm excited to see what they're gonna come out with.
I can say that. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm excited.
Well, Nintendo's always been Nintendo. They always gonna be Nintendo.
Yeah.
They will always give you something good for the family and for the friends.
Yeah.
And it's gonna keep you talking. So
they're gonna sell me Mario Kart again, and all those other games again.
And you're gonna beat everybody's. You're gonna step on everybody's neck again.
Well, you know, I mean, if Henyo was here, he'd be like, I don't get it. but yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. But Jay,
oh yeah, man.
Thank you for hanging, man. It's about that time, and the pillow's calling. I know the pillow's calling you, man. So tell these people a couple of positive things before we check out of here this evening.
Oh, I am not the virtue of positivity tonight. I'm gonna let you handle this one.
All right. On that note, we're just gonna wrap it up. Good night, people. Be good night, do good, and as always, please keep your life and your gaming drama free. Later.